Hello students. So now we are going to discuss about another type of fluid which involved in transportation, that is lymph, also known as tissue fluid. Now first of all, what does this lymphatic system consist of? Lymphatic system consists of lymphatic capillaries, lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes and lymph. As blood is having their own circulatory system, in the same way lymph is also having their own. They also flow in a closed chamber, that is their own capillaries and vessels. Now how does it form? See, as I already told you that blood capillaries are very thin, they are having pores. So through these pores which are present in the walls of blood capillaries, some amount of plasma, proteins, blood cells escape into the intercellular spaces in the tissues to form the tissue fluid. So all this kind of uh, liquid seeps out into the intercellular spaces in the tissues, and this tissue fluid, when enters into the lymphatic vessels which are present in every tissue, they form lymph. Now the composition of lymph. Lymph is basically similar to the plasma of blood, but it is colorless and contains less protein. So they are colorless, they are not having RBCs, they are rich in fat, having WBCs in higher concentration, and some ions also which are present in blood plasma. So their composition is quite similar to the blood plasma with some small differences. Then lymph, they drains into the lymphatic capillaries from the intercellular spaces and join to form large vessels. Capillaries से vessels में जाता है और vessels से even they open into much larger veins. And finally they reach to the blood. So whatever lymph, whatever this extracellular fluid is formed, they finally reach to the blood. So because tissue fluid passes the material to the blood through the lymph, that is why lymph is also known as middleman. So this is also one of the most important function of lymph. Then one more function is written over here, that lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from the intestine in the vessels which are also called lacteals. Lacteals can also be asked in your exams. So lacteals are the lymphatic vessels which are present surrounded the small intestine. So from the intestine, as you know that fats are being digested in the intestine, so whatever the digested fat is present in the intestine, in the lacteals, that can be carried by the lymph and also drain excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. So whatever this extracellular fluid, or you can say this tissue fluid, seeps out from the blood, it carries it back to the blood again. वो सारी चीज़ों को वापस से ब्लड में ही मिक्स कर देता है. This is the main function of lymph. So it keeps on circulating the material from the tissue fluid to the blood. This is the main function of lymph. Now the question is, what is the difference between blood and lymph? That is the most important question. So you can point out some basic differences, that blood is red in color while lymph is colorless. Blood has RBCs while lymph has no RBCs. Then blood is somewhat, you can say, bidirectional, but lymph is unidirectional. Lymph always move in one direction, and lymph also contains valves for this purpose. So these are some basic features which you can write, or basic differences which you can write if the question is asked about lymph. Thank you.